And without a 6 pull on a map like Whirlwind, we have to the top right the Zerg player for CJ Entus.
CJ Entus effort.
Down 1 game in the best of 3 series after his failed 6 pull in game number 1.
Yeah, these days he sits a little bit higher in his chair, no longer the lowrider Zerg.
Yeah, better posture. Bottom right we have his opponent. And game number 1 successful with the leaks out, perfect counter after he realized what was going on. For KT Rolster it is
KT Roaster Flash.
Now I can feel a lot more comfortable since it's a 4-player map and he's up in the series to go for a CC first. And I expect that we'll see that from him again.
Yeah, I would expect to see the same thing here. And for Effort, of course, he is now a little bit on the edge because he knows if he loses another map, then he is out completely.
Yeah, Effort goes for a scout even. Gonna probably check the watchtower because he wants to make sure there's no proxy against him.
And that's something that we see every now and then on Whirlwind, and if it goes unscouted, it's very powerful. But now we have the scout in the middle, and now you already know that you're not being proxied.
Yep, there's the CC first on the low ground for Flash, meanwhile as well. So very macro-oriented builds coming out here. Flash has a huge fan base, but Effort does as well. And Effort is actually the only one of these 2 players who has a Twitter account. And his Twitter account is actually kind of hard to find, and maybe that's the reason why he doesn't have so many. But you guys can go follow him if you're a big Effort fan. He's Jungwoo_M. So you spell that JUNGWOO_M. I'm sure he'd love to hear from you. Could tweet at the 2 of us as well, at Calder with a KH and at ProxyWolf. Always love to hear from you guys, and also we tweet when the matches are going to go live. A lot of information about what's going on here in Korea. So
definitely add those 3 Twitters and support not only the player but also us. And well, let's find out what exactly the build for Effort is in this game, because I have to say that I really feel he has to have a plan here after game 1 failed quite miserably. He needs to do something to come back into the series, because Flash is already a tough opponent for him to face. We talked about the statistics already earlier, but let's just put that out there once again. We have Effort with 25 maps played in Heart of the Swarm offline, and he only took 12 of those, so he has a 48% win ratio. And that's never a good thing if you are below 50%, but then you look at Flash and you suddenly realize that Effort's opponent here has not only a bigger sample size of maps played, he has played 40, but he also won 75% of them, and that's kind of crazy. That's a really, really good win ratio. So the data alone already like declaring Flash to be the favorite in this series, and he showed it in game number 1. Effort needs to have something, I don't know, maybe a sneaky build, or he just needs to hit like a perfect timing. If he can do that and take a game from Flash, then we go into a 3rd map. But at this point, things are looking really good for the Terran.
Yeah, Effort is going to need some stellar play here to take out somebody Flash's caliber. He gets a quick Zergling speed out.
Yep. Talking about the Terran player, by the way, I got the opportunity when they were playing at the WCG qualifier to record one of those first-person videos looking over the shoulder of Flash and also Innovation. The Innovation video is already uploaded. The Flash video will be uploaded within the next few days. So if you want to check that out and have a quick look how fast those guys are, then go to YouTube. And go to youtube.com/KALDOR.TV, and there you will find both of these videos. As I said, Flash is going to be uploaded within the next few days. Innovation is already up there. It was quite impressive to actually see him play.
Yeah, these guys are so fast. It's really cool to be able to get that first-person view.
I have to admit, though, that I also recorded a first-person video of Lucira, and that guy just makes you dizzy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, the king of APM, in my opinion, is definitely Lucira. I know that Effort also has a very high APM, just talking about the players here in general a little bit, but the way that Lucira hits his keys is just so much more, I want to call it elaborate or sophisticated, I don't know, it's like, it's really weird. So he always has a run-up with his finger before he hits the key. I don't even want to know how many keyboards he goes through in a month.
Yeah, you know, speaking of that right now, just the last thing to say, I guess, is Effort, an average APM in this game is about 110 above Flash at 330 versus 220. So just one of those additional stats for you guys.
So if you guys want to check out those first-person videos, once again, go to youtube.com/KALDOR.TV and check them out. Flash's video will be out in just a few days.
Well, Flash is going for a very early 3rd CC, relatively risky. He doesn't go into E-Bays with this, so he isn't cutting all the corners, but there's a Roach Warren for Effort.
And there's a hidden Roach Warren.
Yeah.
So Effort is still at 38 harvesters, and he is going into additional, well, he has the overlords out already. This is just Roach Baneling, and this is going to be a pretty sick timing. We talked about that earlier. This is one of the time. Oh my god, he is so unlucky.
Oh, he sees both
scan?
the Baneling Nest and the Roach Warren with this scan.
It couldn't be worse. Barracks will go up, bunkers will go up very soon, and he will switch into Marauder production.
He scans again, just to make sure he doesn't cancel it. That's almost too much. Now he sees the roaches as well coming out here. He needs to set up bunkers. He hasn't started them yet. Now he does. He has Widow Mines.
No. We have drones. He's going into double evolution chamber now. Effort saw the scans.
Yeah, of course. But still, Flash is going to be totally fine against the initial roaches that were spotted, which are only 10. And this is kind of messing with Flash's head a little bit, because not only did he lose 2 meals for the scans, but 400 meals into bunkers. Yes, they can be salvaged, but they're not going to be used right away. Hurts him a little bit.
But that's a really good reaction by Effort. A very good reaction. Flash even with a double scan, but Effort sees what's going on, and he saw the scans, and he's like, all right, this is never gonna work. And it's the best decision. Just think about what would happen here if Effort would have actually tried to go through with this. We already have 5 bunkers ready. We have Marauders and Widow Mines, and Effort would have just lost everything. But as it is, he goes into the double upgrades. Flash scans again, sees the third base right now, sees the saturation there, and starts to realize that Effort is not going to follow through with this.
Flash is using scans like this is StarCraft 1. He scans again. I don't understand why he scanned again. He sees, okay, now he sees the drone saturation really, really well.
Yeah, but
this is, for him now, he's very much aware this is not going to be a heavy commitment anymore. He sends a drop even with Hellions over to the natural.
There was like no commitment whatsoever here.
It's actually not Hellions, it's Widow Mines, excuse me there.
Viking is starting to take out those overlords. The 1-1 is going to give him an edge already, and look at Flash is now getting his evolution chambers. He is so not prepared for this. But, well, here comes the drop, and you already said it, Widow Mines in there this time. Maybe the third base a little bit more vulnerable. There's nothing over there except for a queen.
No spore crawlers either, and this just is going to delay mining here. He pulls 2 drones very smartly to make sure he minimizes the losses. And even the Overseer tanks there. Going to take out both Widow Mines with very little losses. Yeah. This, on the other hand, could be a problem.
Oh my god! That hurt, and that hurt really a lot. 7 harvesters killed. The defense at the third base was absolutely great, but now in the main he had this big issue with that one Widow Mine. There's still roaches at the bottom left that see the move out of Flash's army, whereas Effort is taking a 4th base already to the top left of the map.
Effort has those upgrades finishing up. If Flash actually really wants to commit to this attack, he's going to be facing an opponent who is ahead of him in upgrades. Effort taking that 4th base, getting the Spire, also getting Baneling speed at a nice timing. I don't think Flash can make this pressure work. He needs to just sit back on his 3rd base and continue his upgrades, which, by the way, he's only started +1. He does not have the armor on the way.
And we have the 1-1 upgrade finishing for Effort here. I really like how Effort is playing this. The original idea to go into Roach Baneling is a strong one. It's the timing that we were talking about. If he hits it perfectly, he could do damage to Flash and maybe bring it to a 3rd game. But then he is double scanned even. Everything is visible to Flash, and Effort realizes it, transitions out of it, and that gives him actually a lead here. If he can take down the 3rd base, this will of course be amazing for him. But as it is, he's still in a decent spot. The problem for him being that Flash, even though he was a little bit behind after his initial overcommitment to the defense, he is hitting his macro and is starting to get into a really good position.
Yeah, he's just really careful about how he moves into the macro game here. But at the same time, with that 3rd base that he had up so early, he built the SUV count up. One thing that Flash does a lot better than so many Terran players is he never makes his depots way too early, so you can tell he really spends every mineral exactly how he wants it. Baneling's bust through here, but not getting a whole lot done, filling just a bunker.
Well,
look at the supply now. I mean, that actually cost Effort a lot.
Well, Effort has a lot of bank because he wants to wait for the Mutalisks if he can. He's getting the Zerglings now. But here come those Widow Mines, and that's going to become a bit of an issue. Not with the Banelings there, though. And as long as he dodges those Marauders and gets into the Marines, that's exactly what he wants to do. The rest of the units are moving in as we speak. And suddenly the supply is dead even once again.
Yeah, really nice hold here for Flash. Lings cleaned up here at the base once more with the Widow Mine. But Effort really not holding back when it comes to making enough Lings to push Flash's army back. Good hits with the Banelings as well.
Effort is really utilizing that APM that he has to get those injects in there. He needs the production, and he has it. Moving in with Lings and Banelings once more, taking out as many of the Widow Mines as he can. but he does not have a lot of Mutalisk. He's really relying on the ground army now.
Yeah.
But the +2/+2, you know, I really like how he's hitting his upgrades. He's nearly done with those.
And 18 Baneling's color with Baneling speed should be able to hold this.
Yeah, and we only have the +2 attack upgrade just started for Flash. So Flash, when those upgrades hit, will be very far behind in upgrades.
He's also not taking a 4th just yet. He's continuing to push this creep back just a little bit. He's relying on his micro right now to be able to trade against the Banelings if he engages them. And I like Effort's position here, even though he's down in supply. He's making those mutas now. He's catching up. He jumps right back up. As I said, like you said, he's keeping the gas bank for his mutas. He's got that 4th base up for a really long time. Can take those gases. He has them up. He just hasn't started mining yet.
And we also have like a couple of spine crawlers at least. Not this many, but we have a few spine crawlers at those satellite bases of Effort, and that helps him a lot. Supply is still a little bit in favor of Flash here, but the position for Effort is getting a lot better as long as he gets his tech out there. I would love to see that Infestation... and there it is. I love it. Infestation Pit is on the production tab already. And this is great. Terran is dominating when they get the 3/3 upgrades. Nice, we don't mind. Trap has been spotted here. When they get the 3/3, but Effort might be able to just be on par with his opponent in the upgrades if he gets the Hive Tech out now.
Yeah, Flash taking a massive lead in supply, but he's got one very critical thing missing, and that's the Burrow upgrade for the Widow Mines. He's making 4 Widow Mines at a time instead, which gives him more Widow Mines, but they're not as useful without that upgrade. Yeah,
the Mutalisk now with a +1 attack upgrade, +2 has been started. Effort is really macroing it up like a boss in this game. I like it. Flash is of course pressuring him quite a bit, but the Zerg player is doing a decent job with this. Now that the Infestation Pit is done, I would love to see Hive, but first of all we have the attack moving in, taking down the Widow Mines. Flash on the run, losing the rest of the Widow Mines too.
Why was not picking up here? I mean, there are some mutas, but he could have tried to pick up at least. He's not doing it. And Effort taking a great engagement here. He's trapping so many of these units. Flash's units low on hit points. He's catching some of the medevacs at the back as well. Effort takes a massive supply here. He splits against the Widow Mine.
Great job with the splits. Yeah, the second Widow Mine at the bottom takes a lot of kills though. Really well done here by Effort, and he takes a lead in supply. A drop in the main base though is moving at the top right. Legend top right.
Yeah, Queen goes down here, is losing a lot of Harvesters as well, and the Hive is spotted, of course. Meanwhile, Flash continues to move across the map. There's not a whole lot of creep spread left for Effort across the middle of the map, but he does connect his bases.
The drop has been taken out, did a little bit of damage, not too much, damaged the economy a little bit, and also of course the production with the Queen being taken out. But now the Hive Tech has been started. To the bottom right we have the Zerglings moving in, trying to deny a 4th base. Still the supply lead for Effort, moving into his opponent's main, or at least trying to.
Yeah, trying to here. A lot of mules being dropped at that new 4th base for Flash. It's going to give him a massive explosion of income as he starts 3/3 first, Hive a little bit behind. And with this explosion of income, he can remax so quickly, even spending some of his minerals on turrets because he knows the Mutalisk may become a problem. As now there are 20 Mutas out right now with nearly +2 completed for Effort.
Yeah, the 3/3 now has been started for Flash. This is what we talked about earlier. Here go those supply depots, and he might actually...
he doesn't have Ling follow-up.
But yeah, the issue really being that now the 3/3, of course, a little bit faster for Flash, but if Effort starts these upgrades right away, he will give his opponent only a very narrow time window that he could use.
Those Banelings are not spotted, or they're not spotted, but they don't actually get activated either. A little bit weird here.
Oh my god. Okay, that's silly.
Oh no!
He doesn't even kill the Widow Mines.
Yeah, this was a little bit strange. Speaking of the Widow Mines, they still do not have their Burrow upgrade just yet. Oh, a nice attempt here by Effort.
Oh, that was a decent hit, but not good enough. You need those 2 Banelings to take them out.
He also, he barely got those mules to return all of their minerals because that was like 5 mules there, so a lot of money. These scans are just barely missing these Banelings. This has happened time and time again. Effort, though, down on supply here, and hitting he's going to get hit by a very large force from Flash. Now the army supply is 50 up for Flash. 50!
Yeah, but look at the bank that we have, and also the lava. He has the production if he wants it. He's just trying to not max out because he would like to go into the Ultralisks right away. Oh,
that's
nice!
great.
That was a good hit.
That alone really turns this around, and a few more Banelings not spotted. Effort using some of the most successful Baneling traps we've ever seen in this game. At least as far as getting not spotted is.
That was one of those in-your-face moment. And now the Ultralisk Cavern is done. he can now immediately go into the chitinous plating and start his own Ultralisk. Yeah, he has the bank to pull that off. What he would like to have as well is another base. He really needs to start thinking about taking this 5th, but Flash knows that, and Flash is trying to deny him another base.
Yeah, he's cut units up to the top left. Big attack going through here to the south, and he's been spotted. He takes the gases first. Not going to work out.
I really like Effort's macro game. I really like it. Getting the 3-3 this early against the Terran player is awesome. So many Zergs die because the 3-3 upgrades for the Terran just give them too much trouble to deal with. But now if Effort can just throw himself a bit more time, just a bit more time to get his upgrades out, that would be great for him.
Flash really wanting that upgrade for his Widow Mines for now. Starts building armor instead. For him, he likes that extra Widow Mine production that he has from 2 reactors a little bit more. Another Baneling run by attempt. The Widow Mine is there, but he should be able to kill those depots.
Yeah, and here come those Widow Mines moving in. It's depots going down. He goes into the oh my god, that hit of the Widow Mine was amazing.
That was excellent for Flash. That's a lot of resources spent for Effort. He still has that bank. A good Widow Mine shot on those mutas went off, as you can see here.
Yeah, but regeneration is already kicking in. And now look at the upgrades. Nice double Ultralisk, but they don't have the 3-3. Chitinous plating just finished on the other hand.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird. He goes to those Ultras like that. Oh, the Baneling hits here could be excellent. The Mutalisk coming in for the Medivacs, and Flash again with a little bit of a late pickup and split. Now finally takes out the last of the Banelings, takes a supply lead here.
Yeah, but still Effort is... I'm wondering why Effort really committed to this attack just barely like 5 seconds before his 3-3 was done. So that was a little bit odd here from a timing perspective, but he has the bank to make it happen. Now all the upgrades are done. 3-3 just completed. He's going into Greater Spire, and I'm really curious who's going to take this game. I mean, I like a really cool game so far.
Yeah, I like the position for Flash a little bit more, but Effort just has this massive gas income. He needs another base, though, as you mentioned before.
I don't know. You know, the one thing that I don't like about Effort's play here is that he doesn't have that 5th, and that is only because Flash didn't allow it. If Effort gets a 5th base, and maybe even a 6th with the bank that he has, I think he's going to take this game. It's all coming down to whether he gets the economy up or not, because Flash is already taking another base now.
Flash made 4 command centers just a little while ago, so he has so many on the map right now. 6 orbitals in total. He's got 1 more command center that's not been made into an orbital, plus he's got that planetary, so he has a ton of mineral income, and that's not going to change. He's building a massive bank right now. He has the building armor. Yeah. The Broodlord switch may be a big problem for him, though, because he has so many Marauders. He doesn't even have that many Marines, and he only has 1 Viking, of course, on the map.
Massive amount of scans coming out of Flash, making sure that there are no borrowed Banelings anymore. The Widow Mines, he would like to find a few of those that he overlooked earlier. Now we have, again, Marauders trying to force the cancel. He had the hatch, and they are able to pull that off. But we have Effort moving down to the bottom right, trying to take down the space. There is no repair.
There it is. And with the rest of the army coming back, I worry for Effort here. He needs to do a critical amount of damage with these Banelings. The Muta's helping out as well. There's a wall here, and Flash needs to get down there.
Yeah, and the 3rd is gone. That planetary is down. Another Ultralisk helped out a little bit. And now we have the rest of the army moving into the production in the main base. And you know, this is becoming a bit of an issue. The Mutalisks are leading the charge and taking down the wall.
Yeah, and he's just burrow those Widow Mines. He's not using them. And all of Flash's units are so far in the red. Effort during all of this can switch into Broodlords while he loses his supply here. He's got the gas. His gas now up to 1,300. Starts 5 Broodlords back at home. And this is exactly what he needed to get those Broodlords out.
And Effort does not know about those bases at the bottom left. That is an issue. That's his problem right now. If he can go down there with the Mutalisks maybe, use the mobility and take them out, that would be amazing. But what I really, really love, and I was talking about this already earlier, is just Effort's commitment to these upgrades in the tech. With the 3-3 here, it's so much more difficult for the Terran player to make this work. Usually the Terran is ahead in upgrades, and that's where he gets his good position from. But now suddenly Effort is turning things around, and he's the one who makes Flash dance. Flash has to go from the left to the right, from bottom to center, the entire time. Effort is dictating the moves of his opponent now.
Yeah. Few Marines left here, but mostly Marauders chasing down those Mutas, which he chases towards these 2 bases, which are now spotted. The turrets are not going to finish. And Effort, I'm really starting to like his position more and more here with the Broodlords coming up, and he's denying these bases.
But Effort is starting to run out of, he's starting, oh nice snipe on those double drops. He's starting to run out of resources, and we have him with a double base to the top left once again, and he needs these bases. Flash is in a similar position because he lost that third base, and that was a main source of income for him. So now he's basically down to one mining base. The second one just secured. We see that with the mules now on screen, but he's losing command center. But both of them are starting to run a little bit low on the income tab.
Yeah.
Effort, on the other hand, it looks like he will be able to get both bases to the top left, and he is already in a great spot here.
The question now becomes for me, does Flash know about the Broodlord transition? Because he hasn't added any Vikings. Maybe he's hoping he can brute force his way through, but it's going to be very difficult with all these investors coming out. Building armor is good on these turrets, but there's no repair for Flash, and this is starting to cost him a little bit here. And Effort, he can't quite make this work.
Yeah, not yet. I would have liked it with the armor upgrade, but that is a little bit too far off. But once again, the drops, one to the top left, forcing a cancel on the hatch.
Good burrow here.
Another one in the main base. But keep those Broodlords in mind. If they move in.
He wants to keep them a secret for as long as possible. Nice Mulos control down here at the bottom left. Greater Spire was a little bit exposed to that drop, but it looks like it's pushed back now.
And Flash still doesn't know, so the next battle is going to be very important. Do we have Infestors? Could you double check for me?
He made 2. In total, he has 4.
Okay, so if he gets those Fungals against the Bio army, once that the Broodlords are revealed, it will be great for...
He knows about the Broodlords. He doesn't know how many. He saw the Greater Spire, so he does know that they are out. He just doesn't know where they are or how many there are.
He builds the first Vikings now, but yeah, now he sees. Now he's like, uh-oh. And if those Fungals hit, those are the Fungals I was talking about. If he gets them, if he gets the Fungals right here, then the Broodlords will have a field day. But Marauders are flanking the Infestors and taking them out. Great move here by Flash. He's still dropping in supply. The Ultralists are leading the charge, and there's still a little bit of a buffer for those Broodlords. But the base is exposed to the top left, and we talked about the importance of this hatch, and Flash knows this. He's going in and he's taking it down.
He takes it out. Move. He's just using his mobility here. He didn't have enough Marines to fight the Broodlords, not even close, so he just uses his Marauder force to kill the Ultralisk, kill the hatchery. Now he's going to the right side of the map. He's going to pick off another hatchery most likely here. Well, good transfuses on the Spinecrawlers. There's enough lings. Maybe he holds the hatch. The Broodlords are coming, and so are the Corruptors.
Yeah, Broodlords and Corruptors are moving in, already taking down those Medivacs that we have there. The supply is currently in favor of Effort, and he still has the better bank, not in gas, but in minerals.
12
the issue really being that Broodlords are very slow, and it's a very immobile composition that we have.
Yeah.
And look at how mobile Flash is with those Medivacs and the Afterburners.
He's using those 12 mutas, or he will once they pop out, to shut down drop play and also to give him a little bit more control. I really, really like this because the Corruptors, yes, they can do this to a certain extent. They can protect you a little bit against Vikings, but the mules are a great touch here. Flash with so much mineral bank that he's making the Marines, he's getting those back up. Where are the Fungals here? A little bit late, and I don't know, he needs to run away here. He lost his Infestor, and Flash, a great position right now against the Corruptors. Can he break through? It looks like he very well may. It's going to be close.
Effort is trying to stutter step as much as he can, and he's taking down the Medivacs, and the Medivacs are becoming more and more important in the game. The supply is now suddenly in favor of Flash again, and the Terran player has those additional bases for the income. We already talked about Effort's lack of income at the top left. He doesn't have those bases anymore, and he's running out of mineral patches at every other base that he built in this game. Mutalisks are becoming the issue here. They have great upgrades, but the upgrades, are they good enough to deal with the Marines?
He doesn't have any more Infestors, and that's the problem. He's losing so many Mutalisks here. Even the Vikings on the right side helping out. Effort will clean up these Marines. This is such a close game, and now that he's cleaned up the Marines, he can try to take out that Planetary.
Mutalisks are a great choice for Effort here. He's getting more and more of them because he has good upgrades already. The Broodlords are being protected by them. A couple of additional Broodlings are already being moved in, and here come those Mutalisks once again. But he needs to get the rest of his units to safety. Even Zerglings on the ground would help him a little bit more as a buffer.
And he's failed to take the space to the top left again. He really needs it. He's long distance mining from the bottom right, but Flash, if he finds that drone line, he can actually do so much damage there. Flash has the cheaper units. Mutalisks cost a lot more than Marines, and of course he's just making 15 Marines at a time right now, and eventually he is going to break through this. There's no Banelings on the ground anymore. Effort in a lot of trouble.
Effort has to move in and take this base down, and I feel he has the Mutalisk numbers to do it. He needs to take this base down. It's tough enough as it is, even without that base, since there's another one on the right side of the map. But without him eliminating this source of income of Flash, he has no chance here. Marines 15 at the time are being built, and there is the scan. There are not enough Broodlords. The Marines are moving in, the cancel on the Broodlord Cocoons immediately. And
oh no, Effort losing everything here. Flash 30 supply up, suddenly taking out the last of these very expensive units. Effort not making anything right now. I think he's realizing that, you know, he never was able to get that base to the top left, and that was his biggest problem. Flash had too much income. He had the mineral income. That's all he needs. All he wants to make is Marines, Marines, and more Marines.
Zerglings in the production line, but there are just way too many units coming out of those barracks. In the middle of the map, Mutalisks are once again fighting a few Marines. Marines, but they have to retreat, and this army is just too big. 110 army supply against 65. 2 mining bases that we see for Flash now, and there is no base with mineral patches left for Effort anymore. Flash is even taking another one right now, flying the command center to the bottom left.
Yep. Flying the man to the bottom left, just getting ready to continue that income to the bottom left. And Effort, yeah, he's got Banelings and Mutilis on top of this cliff, but Flash is going to micro back down the ramp, sends a few Marines up at the front, trying to cancel those Banelings. He has so many Marines right now. All he needs to do is split a little bit. The Banelings are already gone.
There's just no way anymore, not without Infestors or even Ultralisks on the ground. He needs something, and 3 Ultralisks are not going to be enough. It was a great game, great decision making in the beginning by Effort, switching out of Roach Baneling because of the double scan. But in the end, Flash denied his bases way too often. Great game so far, but it does not look good. Well, actually, those Ultralisks...
You know what? He doesn't split very well against them because of the Mutalisks giving him a little bit of trouble. The Ultralisks all survive, and that's really important because they're very expensive. They can be transfused, and Flash actually falls down supply. He still has the better production and the better income.
He has income, and that's like the issue. Top left base has just been started with the production cycles that we have, and the switch into Marauders right now. Marine Marauder should take this. But I really like that Effort puts in the extra effort, if you so want, and tries to like really... He tries everything that he can. And that last attack was basically one of the few attempts on the few things that he could do, but he just doesn't have the income anymore. I would love to see the income tab just for a second here on screen, because that would show us already what kind of situation we're in.
I can tell you he's got 20 minerals per minute versus 2,000 for Flash.
Yeah, so that's the issue here.
That's 100 times more.
Missile turrets, of course, need to be repaired. That's something that Flash, for some reason, does not do right now.
Yeah, he's had a bit of trouble with that.
Marines are already moving over.
Yeah, he's going to buy time with this turret, and then once the Marines get there... In fact, actually, with the building armor, that turret's probably not going to die.
Yeah, here come the Marines. He can take out a few of the SCVs, but the issue... You look at the supply and you think, okay, this game is a little bit more even than I actually thought. And then you look at the army supply and you realize that Flash is 35 up because he has much less harvesters than his opponent. He's relying a lot more on the mules, and the income alone is just the big issue here.
And this base, which now has 49 drones selected on it, is going to be taken out again. He's runs over, and he may save it.
With the Queens, he should be able to.
511 hit points remain, but the bigger issue is that Flash has 3 times as many bases he can mine for, and he has mules, so he just drops them wherever he wants. Effort is really hanging on. It's quite impressive to see what he's been able to accomplish this game with all the cards stacked against him oftentimes.
Effort is really, really resilient in this match. But now Flash is starting to do what he does best. He's starting to attack at multiple fronts, using his macro that he has and the multitasking, going in with drops and also using another force at the main. And this is how he can really take this game. The Ultralisks are moving in, but this time we have a lot more Marauders than we had before. A drop into the mineral line. The Ultralisks are going down, and so does Effort. Trying to fight through, but this is the end.
This is the end. He's losing his Spine Cores. The drop is cleaned up, but the bigger issue is the army. And Effort's last mining base starting to fall, starting to crumble here. He pulls the drones. The last Ultra is popping out, and Flash maybe he's pushed back, but it doesn't look like it. There's not enough DPS on these drones.
Yeah, he's taking down the Harvesters. He's taking down all of the Ultralisks and the Mutalisks. This is game. Flash will go to the Premier League with a 2-0 GG. Really great game. 40-minute long match on map number 2 between Flash and his opponent Effort. A great match that we've seen there. A lot of resilience. I love Effort's play. If he would have been able to secure a 5th or a 6th base, I feel we would have seen a 3rd map between the two of them. But as it is, Flash shutting that down all the time and really forcing these things out of his opponent. It's a great game by the Terran.
Yeah, I completely agree. He knew all the focal points. He's like, okay, the base at the top left, I keep stopping you from taking those. I'm really trying to defend mine to the bottom left. It's a hard task, but I'm going to make it work. A lot of those Baneling run-bys we saw from Effort into Flash's 4th base didn't really accomplish all too much. He killed the depots over and over again, but he never really got those SCVs. And
a Zergling follow-up just was lacking. If he had a few Zerglings down there, the Banelings busting in would have done a lot more damage, just opening things up for the Lings. But even as it is, with those early upgrades that he got, and also the composition, Effort was in a great position. I loved his style here. A strong game by him, but he needs to secure himself this 5th base if he wants to take it.
Yeah, he needed that 5th base a lot longer. Flash just didn't give him the chance. He had the gas up, oftentimes without the hatchery, but every time the hatchery is targeted, the Marauders fly away. And Flash is having the better multitasking at the end of the day. His third command center was up so early, so even though the bunkers went up, he had so much income.
He also had a really good position to win at effort, that is, because he was in a position where he could just barrel down on his opponent, but for him the big problem was that he had nothing anymore to shield those Broodlords that he had. That was the time when Flash was really struggling. The Ultralists took out the third base that Flash built earlier. Suddenly we had this massive army for effort on the map that could take on everything the Terran player had. The income was very low for Flash, but he was able to just hold on for a little bit longer and then got his lead out there. And for effort we didn't have the ground support that he needed to protect those Broodlords. If he had a few Ultralisks left, or even like Zerglings, Queens for Transfusers, a few more units at the bottom, he could have taken it. It was a great game by effort, but even better by Flash.
Yeah, absolutely so. That one moment at the top left where he didn't have enough Marines for the Broodlords, but he just sent his Marauders up to the top left to kill the bases. That was kind of a turning point we had there. But we're going to take a look at all of today's match results. We talked about the Flash one quite extensively, but first things first, Sleep took a 2-0 over Yu-Gi-Oh! Younghwa with a very clean-cut 2-0 over Trap.
Haiwa then took it against Life with a 2-1 in the last series of the day. Unfortunately, only 2 maps there, but a great series. It was Flash versus Effort with a 2-0 victory for the KTO also Terran.
Insane to see Effort transition in Game 2 after being opening with such an aggressive build, getting double scanned, and then trying to make a transition. He did it so well. Flash too much for him, though, at the end of the day. And here are our results. Again, I'm sure something was fixed that was wrong before, but I couldn't tell you what it is. Whenever you see something that happens, it probably means there was a typo. So these are the real results.
And here we have the race distribution for the challenge for the Premier League next season. We have 9 Terrans, 6 Protoss, and 5 Zergs.
Yeah, there will of course be several more players coming out of the up and down matches coming on later. So this is not the final stats, but it's what we have right now.
Exactly. So pretty nice distribution there already. Very solid lineup. And let's find out who comes to the up and downs in just a little bit.
Yeah, here's the up and down race distribution. So you see there's very few in the Terran department because just earlier all the Terrans are in the Premier League.
Exactly. And a few of the guys that you currently see here might be able to actually go up. This is of course the up and downs.
Yeah, really exciting matches. The date has been announced, as you can see here. It's going to be August 6th on Tuesday at 1 p.m. just like usual. So really good players there in the up and downs. I mean, just looking at those names, you've got players like Yu-Gi-Oh!, DRG, Curious, Kangho.
Yeah. It's going to be some exciting days in the up and downs, and this is of course one of the very intense times that we have at the GSL, at the WCS up and down. So that's going to happen next week. And for now, we're done with the regular season of the Challenger League. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the matches and the cast today. We're going to see you next week again with a little bit more Starcraft 2 here at GOMTV. So stay tuned and we'll see you on Tuesday for the first day of the up and downs. Bye-bye.